right. I should have worn my glasses.
Oh.
All right. Welcome, everybody. MasterSpas Facebook Live. How's everybody doing? We'll obviously wait a few minutes for babysitter and people to hop on here. And anyone who hops on there first, if you could give us a sound check, that would be absolutely awesome. So when you pop on, let us know where you're watching from. Even if we're live, you can still type in where you're watching from. We love to see those. And today's subject is all questions, any subject, anything you want. Have a blast. Of course, I should have worn my glasses for that because then I might need your help there.
Okay.
So, all right. And it's funny, I swear, like, I'm new to glasses. Hello, is that Kayla? Is that you? I'm new to glasses, and then when I wear them all day and then take them off, I can't see anything. So, PA, sound is good. All right. Nikia, how are you? All right. Sherry, people hopping on. Very good. We'll give a couple of minutes. All right. We just got back from California. We were at Wadapalooza. It's a big CrossFit event for 5 or 6 days. Kayla, it's strips. It's tiring. It is a lot. I mean, people.
And it's the 3 hour difference. Like, I'm feeling it for sure.
Oh,
weird.
Yeah. It did. I feel like it's as I'm getting older, the jet lag stuff is more, I don't know, real. I can't believe I'm saying that. Like I'm just like dragging my butt for the next couple of days. So, all right, Brad, what's going on, dude? Where are you at? Good to see everyone on here. All right, we'll give a couple more minutes.
And we did have some questions that came in first.
Yep.
So we can start off with those if anyone
Cool.
doesn't have any as we get started. But this is just a Q&A on all things swim spas or hot tubs.
Actually, I was going to say, open it up. Hot tubs, cold tubs, saunas, whatever you guys want to talk about. Sherry's from Almond, New York. Where is Almond, New York? Is that on the island or is that upstate? I don't know. I don't recall ever hearing of that. And we're right in Connecticut. So we're we're close to some parts of New York. It's a big place. So awesome. Brad, what's going on? Good to see you, man. All right, 10 people. Give it another minute. So we're trying to get back into the swing of things, and then we've got an event in the city, New York City. Speaking of New York, Brad, Hawaii, cool. Which island? New Hampshire, Jim. All right, Jim, we know you, Jim. New Hampshire, we've seen that. All right, very cool, very cool. All right, 10 people. I think we're okay to start, Mary. You want to start with the questions?
Sure. So one of the questions, and we get this a lot. This is from Robert in New Mexico. I have my trainer outdoors in backyard. Water is consistently in need of vacuum maintenance. With cloudy water, I need some recommendations. So,
vacuum maintenance?
Are you leaving your cover open? I don't know if you're on here, Robert, but if you're leaving your cover open a lot for long periods of time,
Yep.
leaves, debris, and everything they're going to get in your swim spa. And there is only so much that the filter can do with stuff like that. So I know Ben has a swim spa at his house outside, and sometimes he'll need to use the spa vac to get stuff off the bottom.
And you know what happens is, so where the covers, and anyone watching this, you're gonna laugh. Where the cover Velcro flaps, you close the two covers, and then the Velcro overhangs. I swear, like, stuff blows into that seam, so that when you lift it up, you end up, putting some stuff in the swim spa. And those of you who may or may not recall from my install, I took all the trees out.
Yeah.
There's not a tree in my backyard, although the neighbors going on do not disturb. Of course, I'm sure it was someone calling me about my open file because they're going to offer me lending.
It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Every single day from multiple numbers, it's getting ridiculous.
So, But anyway, so the neighbors it still just blows around, and I feel like it gets in that seam. And even I did everything to get the trees out. When you open it up, some stuff still goes in there.
Yeah. And you can, for that kind of stuff, also you could use like a pool skimmer.
Yeah, skimmer. I have a net, like
yeah.
I have just a handheld, and you can net like a big fish net type thing, and then although much smaller, obviously. And then I have the rechargeable spa vacuum with a longer pole for swim spas.
Now, in terms of cloudiness, that was from Robert, and we also had.
Hang on 1 second.
Okay.
So we got Alice in Prince Edward Island, Canada.
Nice.
Paul and Sherry. So Almond, New York is upstate near the PA border. Got it. All right. Appreciate that. Paul's in California. We know where you are, Paul. All right. D here, H2X Trainer 19D owner question, where can I shop for filters at a reasonable cost? So I would go to your dealer. Filters are just part of the program. I wouldn't necessarily, try to measure them up. Oh, look, I got the voicemail. This is Jason with Business Lending. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
All right. So, and I just told someone that we were doing a live and they're texting questions. So people just, people. All right, filters at a reasonable cost. I mean, you can go online. A couple places have them, but talk to your dealer about it. Maybe buy in volume, try to get a better deal, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Although dual temp, you have 2 sets, so I do understand. It's a little bit more painful than most. All right, Sherry said.
I mean, if you're keeping them clean, they should last you.
They last a long
years.
time.
So, I mean, it's not a big, if you think about the investment, it's not a huge investment over the couple of years.
Yeah. And if they just need to freshen up, use actual degreaser, soak those things, and really do a great job. Sherry said, we are building an enclosure around our Trainer 15D as the wind is brutal here. Any issues we need to be aware of by enclosing? We will have screened vents in the roof and a ceiling fan running. So if it's an actual room, moisture and air are not the same thing necessarily. So what I mean by that is if you vent out and you have a fan, like a fan blowing on the inside is just blowing the moisture around the room. A ceiling fan, like a bathroom vent, a bathroom ventilation fan, only pulls the hot air out. It pulls some out. It pulls a little bit of moisture out, but it's not the same thing as dehumidification.
Right.
Okay, dehumidification requires a dehumidifier or air conditioning. So air conditioning, by the process of conditioning the air, actually removes the moisture from the air as well. So in fact, most mini split systems have a dehumidifying setting on there that just keeps running the air conditioning until all the humidity is out of the room. What we find, Mary, I don't know if I ever mentioned this to you, but what we find at home, especially in our bedroom, if we put that on dehumidification, it's frozen in our room because it keeps running.
It does the same thing in my car.
Yeah.
So my car has this, I hate it actually. If it's very humid.
It's a nice car.
And I love my car. I don't love this process, but it does the same thing. If it's very humid out, it will dehumidify by making it freezing.
Right. Same thing.
And it does that automatically, and it's one I don't love it because I don't love to be freezing. In my car.
So anyway, Sherry, depending on the type of room it is, you may want to run a portable dehumidifier in there to really get the moisture out. Because if you did, let's just say you did a glass enclosure, like a greenhouse type thing, it will be so foggy in there when in the wintertime, it'll be crazy. There's pictures of that, but people have done that, and it's actually sort of funny how wet it is. But just keep that in mind. You may want to run a dehumidifier, and a portable dehumidifier gets the job done. Okay, but depends on that kind of room. Bree, what's up? All right, let me go through here. My finger got wet. All right, let's see if there's anything. Mama. Okay. Jimmy. Brandolini. I'm in Southington, CT. Is there a local MasterSpas dealer near us? I tend to have to buy everything online, such as filters, etc. For that stuff, so we are in Cheshire, but this is not set up with that stuff. So online would be the easiest way to get it from here, living here, for sure. Let's see. Where would I be able?
Just really quickly, so I'm assuming East Coast Spas is your dealer. If you're in Connecticut, if you order from East Coast Spas, it usually ships, like you'll get it the next day. It's almost as good as Amazon.
Yeah, when we need stuff for ourselves, they ship it up because it's faster, and it's here, I mean, a day later. So they're really fast. Let's see, where would I be able to purchase bottom clips that hold the swim spa panels in place? Bottom clips.
I would call your dealer.
Definitely call your dealer.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, I would reach out, send an email to like, MasterSpas Parts or customer service or MasterSpas Parts online. They're great. Ben does an amazing job. One of those will tell you where to go for sure. But I'm not exactly sure which clip you're talking about. Because that, like the channel? No, it's not a channel on there. On a swim spa, it goes in, you got the side channels, you kind of flex it, get it in, pull it up, and then screw it in. There's no bottom clip on that. But talk to customer service, get the right part number, and then get with your dealer. I'm sure someone can send that out, and it's probably not a big deal. All right. Hey, B&M. B. Yes, East Coast is my dealer.
Yeah.
I needed a new cover and wasn't sure where to go for an OEM one. I'll reach out to them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jimmy, totally reach out to them. They can stick it on a truck and you could pick it up probably over here, or our service center's right in Cheshire. We'll work that out with you, no problem. But they'll have that, and they might even have that in the warehouse. East Coast Spas actually has this location as well as 2 warehouses, both in Cheshire. So all 3 of them locations are actually in Cheshire. So we can definitely get that worked out for you. But just send an email in, and or call
the main
call the main
store
number.
location.
All right. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. Jim had shoulder surgery 3 weeks ago. Really missing the daily swims. PT starts in 2 weeks, and hoping my PT embraces water therapy rehab. Any stories or thoughts to share? Tons. So I have never met a PT that wasn't psyched that you had that ability, because most people don't do the work. Like a personal trainer cares more about most customers and clients than they care about themselves. And the same applies to PT. So if you have a highly motivated PT, they will be excited. I need to change this watch. It's still on workout tight. So they will be psyched, and they'll give you homework to do. Most of the time, PT is going to give you some homework, and when they have that capability, they will take advantage of it. So I'd be shocked if they didn't have you, put you to work. And actually, on the rehab front, you guys who long-time listeners may remember that I tore my bicep a long time ago, and I did 100% of the rehab in the swim spa. I used the dumbbells that we had, and it was the short head of my bicep, and it was the rotation that I had to work on. Ironically, a good friend of ours was at Wadapalooza with us, and he did the same exact tear. So same exact distal, it's the outside short head tendon, some kind of a rupture or tear. So the question becomes, is it time for surgery? Is it time for rehab? So he's going to get some imaging done, and then if rehab is what they call for next, we'll do it in the water, because we have this right here. So it's just such an amazing tool. So I would say,
and who doesn't want to do rehab in 100-degree water?
Absolutely. So actually, this is hot. This is like 100 degrees. It's actually like I'm starting to swell.
Oh.
All right. My glasses. Got it. We're caught up there. Okay. Good. Keep the questions rolling in.
Yep. Another question that we got is, whoops.
Do we want to talk about the cloudy water? That was sort of a 2-parter.
It was.
It was.
Go ahead.
So
it's hard to know because there was no context.
Right.
To the
There's a lot of reasons you can get cloudy water, but the biggest one that we see continually is there's just not enough chlorine in there. This is where you get into lots of different, ideas on how this should be done. You have the Angie method, you have the Ben method, then you have the MasterSpas manual, and they're all a little bit different. I would say probably you know, somewhere in the middle of all that. But when you find a method that works for you, just go with it. You know, lots of people love the Angie method, which is basically more non-chlorine shock after small amounts afterwards in the swim spa, and then chlorinate once a week. I like to use small amounts of chlorine more frequently, like 2-3 times a week. And it's not that I don't want to shock. The shock is necessary. It's just that we're busy and we're often not here, so I don't do it as much as I would like to shock once a week and really get, you know, that oxidize that junk out of there. So it's just better for the water to use to do that process more frequently. So it's not that it's not that I'm saying it's not correct. It's usually we're just not here. So, and then MasterSpas will tell you, you know, chlorinate a couple times a week and shock once a week, you know, twice a week maybe, and then go from there. But you really, you know, the things that's sort of the broad brushstroke, the process is once your chlorine levels dip all the way down, your pH and alkalinity tend to get screwy next. If the chlorine levels are maintained, those tend to you know, more lock in place. And also geographically, everybody's water is different. So test strip, adjust alkalinity, then adjust pH, then chlorinate, filters crank up, and do that. If you find that it's just not getting, or it's not staying clean, you're probably not running quite enough chlorine in there. So chlorine, you know, chlorinate, you know, one more time a week or a little bit more when you do it or something like that is probably would get you fixed up. Okay? All right. Go ahead, Mary.
Okay, so the next question is also about cloudy water from NASM in Canada, but how to prevent the water from getting cloudy when you're away, and how do you bring it back to clear afterwards?
Yep.
So what he just said, obviously, if it got cloudy while you're away, what Ben just said would be the way to get it clear.
Alkalinity, pH, chlorine.
But a couple of things, we did a live, it might have even been our last live, or 2 lives ago, that we talked about how to, what to do with your water before you go away or on vacation. And one of the best things to do, and it is a little bit more expensive, but if you don't have somebody while you're away to come and put chlorine in your water, is to just make the investment and get a Froggies just for the time that you're away. Yep. So that it's constantly taking care of the water for you while no one else can. Right. So that will help to prevent cloudy water, or having someone come and treat the water throughout the week or however long you're away.
Agreed.
So that is another option as well.
The Froggies doesn't last, the one made for swim spas, and most people have a 15, so we'll sort of address that. It doesn't last a month, but it does last 3 weeks. So, you know, get the big one. If you're going for a week, 2 weeks, even up to 3 weeks, toss it in, you'll be great. And they take care of it. It's a great way to just not have any issues. So we're definitely a fan of that method for sure.
Okay, next question is from John in Virginia. Which side of the spa requires more maintenance access? So it does depend on which swim spa you have. So if you have, we're going to really need to know which swim spa you have. Yeah. Because currently, 2025 models is all of your, in the single temperature units, except for is it now Trainer 12s in the front too? The new one. So most 2025 models, 15 and above, your components are going to be behind the swim jets. If you have a TheraPool, like a TheraPool 13, they're going to be behind the hot tub seats.
Right.
And then if you have a dual temperature unit, they're going to be both sides, both short ends. So typically, if you leave access to both short ends on any swim spa, that's really going to be the best way to do it. About 3 feet on both short ends. That would be the best piece of advice. But without knowing which specific one you have, it's hard to say.
Right. Hang on.
You got one?
Yep, a couple. Let's see. Jan said. Okay. Sorry, back to my needing my glasses. My PT didn't really specify swim spa friendly exercises, but I am figuring it out myself. They were really surprised that I reached my goals so fast. My doctor had restricted swimming for 8 weeks. I hit my goals in 2 weeks. Hell yes. At about the time I was allowed in my pool again. So I still attribute my success to having kept it up as much as I could do prior to my surgery. Oh, for sure. Strengthening prior to surgery is huge. I'm happy to be back in the water. That's fantastic. I mean, it's a couple pieces there. Doing rehab in a swim spa is just more fun, period. So if you feel, if you kind of have this mental ownership over your exercise, your rehab, or whatever it is that you're working towards, it will be more fun. If it's more fun and you're really involved in it, it will work better because it starts here, and that's huge. So have belief in it and do it, but just showing up and actually doing all of the prescribed work. Most people do a piece of the work that's prescribed in therapy, and then their results, and they're taking that into account when they give average times for results. But if you get to work, you look at pro athletes or people who are just, sort of psycho that way, their results are much faster than everyone else's. And I had remember this doctor, there was an on-site doctor, Dr. Dave had a dog named Otis, was really cool. And he said something that was amazing to me, and he said, "Motion is lotion." And I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it when he was talking to our friend Mike about his bicep. He said, I don't want you to just sling this up. He said, you need to stretch it out or it's going to freeze. And he said, motion is lotion. And I thought that was absolutely awesome, but it's true. It's true. The more work we do, as long as we're doing things correctly, is hugely beneficial. All right. Kim said, froggy even good for saltwater MasterSpa tubs? No.
Good question.
No, Kim, it is a good question. Definitely not. Your salt system will take care of the sanitizer. You don't need to do anything with a salt system.
P.S. There is no salt system available
for the swim spas yet.
The swim spas yet.
Okay, you got to tell Carrie to stop texting. We're on the live.
Yeah.
Carrie, stop it. Kayla, are you right there? Go give her a vigorous spanking. Tell her to stop it. She keeps texting on the live.
So. If you're thinking about adding a Froggies with your hot tub and it has salt, you don't
need it. With the salt system takes care of that. So in the hot tubs, you're good to go. If they have the salt system either on there or added onto it, it works fantastic. You won't have to do anything. In fact, you could check it from the app.
Swim spa
so
salt
fantastic.
system hopefully coming sometime next year.
26 project.
All right.
Hang on.
Do you have another one?
Missy said, love my Froggies. Glad you approve of it too. Easiest method for me, no question. Here we go. Kim, next follow-up. Mary just answered it. When are they going to do a conversion of salt for the swim spas? It's a 26 project. That's what we were told.
Yeah.
The president of MasterSpas said it's a 26 project, and he didn't give any other information.
Sometime
He was
in
very vague because he knows that we're going to say, he said 26, so that means January 1st it's available. He knows that.
I would not expect early 2026.
No, I wouldn't either.
Still working on some things.
They're working on a lot of stuff.
Hot tub salt. So
now I guess I can say this because I'm sort of teasing and not giving any real information. We have our dealer meeting is like November 1st, and that's always when they release new stuff. And believe it or not, everyone sort of always calls us to see what they're releasing. And sometimes we know and sometimes we don't know, but we always say we don't know. Although most of the time we don't know all of it for sure. They'll give bits and pieces and that's it. So I haven't really heard anything I can't say. So I have heard a couple of things. That is not one of them, but it's supposed to be a 26 project. But that dealer meeting is coming up November. So you always want to tune in after November 1st when our dealer meeting is, because that's when we usually get something juicy. There'll be something juicy. There's always something juicy. Okay? I don't know what it is. Or maybe I do. I don't. Nobody knows. Okay, hang on, let me check for more. Kayla said, I'm at home but willing to send her a strongly worded email. You get her. You get her. Good. That's great.
Okay.
Netherlands, great job you are doing. See you in Florida next month.
Oh,
yes.
Awesome. Yay.
Yes.
We were hoping you were coming.
Yes. Awesome. Very cool.
Okay.
Okay, I'm caught up. Your turn.
This is from Steve in South Carolina. How many hours in a day does the swim spa need to run? So it's always going to be wired. It's hardwired, so it's always plugged in. The default setting for the filter cycles is really awesome. 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the evening, and you can adjust that on your control panel, although that is what we have going and it works really well.
Yep.
A timer, you have a built-in timer in the swim spa in your control panel.
Actually, I'd like to add something to that, Mary. This swim spa that we're in right here, and you can see the water clarity is about as perfect as it gets.
Yeah.
We were in California for 6 days.
Oh yeah.
And
No, more than that, because...
No, 6 days.
Okay.
We left on Tuesday, came back Monday.
Right.
Yeah, 6 days.
But Monday was the last time we had treated it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. So a week. So that's right. And we treated it Monday night.
Yeah.
So when we got in, so more than a week. So 7.5 days. It was filtering. We hit the chlorine. We hit it pretty hard. 2 scoops on there. Probably took it to 7, 6, 8 parts per million, which is a little higher than you would normally run it. Came back, water was flawless.
Perfect.
Flawless. So
Yeah.
so on Monday night, I had actually parked here, and then Mike dropped us off, and then I took Mary. Not that it matters. I took Mary home. The logistics of our trips would just make your freaking, your brain pop out of your ears with boredom. So anyway, so we popped the cover open to check it, and I didn't know what to expect. So 7 days, and it was flawless. So I literally threw a scoop in there, turned the jets on, let it sit for 5 minutes, closed the cover, left. And that's what our schedule is like. So sometimes, did I off gas it for 15 minutes?
No.
We didn't have time. We traveled all day, didn't care. That happens. That's life.
Now that is a good segue into this next question.
I didn't know that.
From Janine in California. I have had some rusting. What to do? So
Here's a good segue.
Yeah, one of the reasons you may get some rusting is because you didn't off gas chemicals.
Yep, most common.
So what happens is you put the chlorine in, or even oxidizer, and you close the covers, and there's nowhere for that to go. And so it's very harsh on your components if you don't allow it to off gas. So one of the ways to help prevent that is to keep your covers open about 15 to 20 minutes after chlorinating or oxidizing.
With the jets on low.
Yeah.
Just move it around and it'll off gas into the air.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Another issue is that you may be using too much chlorine.
Yep, for sure.
So you want to just make sure that you're leaving your chlorine levels about 1 to 3 parts per million, and that will help. If you're smelling chlorine, most likely you're using too much. That's usually like a lot of times, sometimes, we'll open the cover and we're like, ooh, we smell that chlorine. It's probably a little bit more than we needed.
Right. Ooh,
So,
we must have hit that a little too hard.
But right now,
and then
smells perfect.
Also, so just to make you understand it, so what's happening is you put the chlorine in the water, and then it rises to the top. In that area from the top of the water to the bottom of the cover is the most corrosive.
Yeah.
And it's so that chlorine is in gas form, it's in the air. So if it's too high, it's just going to eat at everything. And I know it's stainless steel. We get picked on the owners group because it's stainless steel. It's not supposed to do that. Nothing will beat that forever.
Sure.
Okay? Nothing will beat corrosion forever. Nothing will beat salt air and salt water forever. It doesn't work that way. I don't care what grade of stainless steel you put in there. Eventually, it will get, quote, ate up. Okay? So it's important to do that. And now, mind you, we've had this one. How long have we had this swim spa for?
Maybe 5 months, 6 months?
5 months. The one at home for a couple months. The last one, I think we had one spot on one of the things that rusted a little bit. I scrubbed it off and then just made sure we tried to off gas it. A lot of times we're in a hurry. You guys all know we don't claim to be perfect, ever, because there's no such thing. Time is time, and people are busy. That applies to everyone, including us, and we do the best we can.
And we're home so little that
right,
like,
just understand,
even those 15 minutes, you're like, I want to just
it's almost always just the off-gassing.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a question here, Mary. Let's see. Kim, so you have to use MasterSpas salt for their salt hot tubs. Dealer told me that I can use Clorox salt for saltwater pools also. That correct? No.
You can only use the MasterSpas salt.
It is not the same salt. So if you really take it apart, good question, Kim. No, you cannot use regular salt at Costco or anywhere else for pools. Nothing. Ours only. And the reason is it is one more level higher of the contaminants removed from it. In that, when I say contaminants, I mean minerals other than the salt. And it's so clean. So the other one is above 99%. This is like true 99.99%.
And you would, that 0.0% or 0.1%
makes a difference.
Makes a huge difference in the quality of the salt and the way that it works with the Master Clear.
Right. And what the term really is that because of the level of salt that we have, we can actually run this down to 1,200 parts per million on the salt, which is lower than any system on Earth, okay? And in addition to that, the Smart Cell actually measures the sanitizer in the water and then produces when it's necessary. But wait, there's more. If you run a lower pH, because most salt systems they recommend, and they either just don't know or they haven't, put the time in that we did, they're running like 7.5 on the pH, which is like normal hot tub pH. We actually recommend 7.0, and what that does is at a lower pH and 1,200 parts per million, when our salt system is producing what's called hypochlorous, as opposed to hypochlorite. Hypochlorite is bleach, and hypochlorous you can actually drink. It's actually healing.
And that's a huge difference.
It's a huge difference, and all that stuff plays into that. So,
and it also is a very big difference in corrosiveness. So
yes.
I mean, we all know salt is very corrosive.
Yes. Salt cell preservation.
Using the Master Clear, using the Master Clear salt specifically, and the system, you're helping to reduce the amount of corrosiveness.
I'm going to say this, and those of you who watch all the time, you're going to laugh. So when someone says, the first question, where can I get filters cheaper? And Mary said, well, if you clean them real well, they'll last forever. But the official answer is that filters last 1 year and then we replace them. I've never replaced them at the year mark. I'm extremely honest. And when you ask me a question and I'm sort of vague, because I'm not going against our own grain. And it's a fine line I walk, between being me and towing the company line. So I say, the textbook answer. When I say the textbook answer is to change the filters at a year, what that really means is I've never done it. Okay? So that there's wiggle room in how I answer. So when you guys ask a question, how I answer is as telling as the information I'm giving you. If you see that I'm being vague and walking a line, I'm towing the company line and being a good boy. I will tell you on the salt. You need our salt, you need to do the maintenance, and if you do, the system is the best on freaking earth, okay? It's that awesome, and it's critical that you do every piece, okay? So I believe that. I would do that, although I have a swim spa at my house. I don't have a salt system, but I will as soon as it's available. 2026 per President Kevin Richards, 26 project. How's that for an answer?
And to Ben's point, a lot of time and research went into developing the MasterSpas.
So badass.
So
it's so badass.
Really
and
important.
If anyone out there is watching this and you're contemplating right now a hot tub, and unless you have some super specific reason not to do the salt, and I would venture to say that most people who don't want the salt is because of corrosiveness or something that they experienced elsewhere, it is not the same. It is worth it, and it is awesome. Pay the upcharge. It is freaking amazing. Okay. All right. Hang on one second. Let me go. I got a question here. Is it okay to off-gas with only half the cover open, Jim? Probably, but I still wonder if that air could get trapped in there. I guess without really knowing, is it going to pull that corrosive atmosphere air out of the bottom of that far cover. Like I'm assuming on a swim spa, you closed it halfway and it was just open in the middle. I've certainly done it, but I try not to because I'm not positive that all that yucky corrosive air comes out if it gets trapped under there. I don't know that to be sure. So have I done it like that? Yes, I have. If I'm in a hurry or feeling lazy or something's up, no problem, and it's certainly better than nothing. Yes, but if there's no concern whatsoever, I leave it all the way open, set a timer, and go back out and then close the whole thing. So I'd rather see you err on the side of safety, which is, I guess, is my way of saying I err on the side of safety and try to have the whole thing open as often as possible because I'm not convinced that all that corrosive air comes out from underneath that cover that's closed halfway, but I don't know for sure, so I err on the side of safety. That was a long answer for a short answer. All right. Let's see. Hi Ben, our 15D is coming soon now that the wedding festivities are done. Yay. Love the 15. I love it. We were in last night. Yeah. I freaking love it. I love those seats. Where Mary's sitting right now is my seat. I love it. I love it. Although last night I was wandering around stretching and stuff. So let's see. Okay. So 7.2 pH levels. Okay, Kim. I'm assuming you're asking about salt. So 7.2 pinch.
You want to add 7.0.
Pinch low on the hot tub side and a tiny pinch high on the salt side. I really would strive to maintain the 7.0 because that's where you're getting that highest percentage of hypochlorous. And what happens is if you're 7.5, you produce more hypochlorite than you do hypochlorous. So you want the hypochlorous. And in fact, when we were presented, our VP of production, Mike Reese, has been doing this a long time, and he's talking about hypochlorous, and he said you can drink it. And he brings a bottle of it in, which you can actually find it in a bottle, and I smell it, and it smells just like bleach to me. And I'm like, Mike, I'm not drinking this until you do. He poured 2 shots, and we drank it. I let him drink it first. True story. I did drink it, and it tastes like you're drinking peroxide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like bleach. It doesn't taste that chemically.
Yeah. So, Catherine, hello. We are expecting our first swim spa in October. What is the estimated cost for electricity running it at the default 4 hours a day? So, okay, very difficult to answer that, Catherine, because I don't know your electrical rate. I know Connecticut is very high, so ours is going to be more depending on where you are. Could be a lot, could be a little. If you're in a warm climate, it could be very low. If it's a freezing cold climate, upper north Michigan, Wisconsin, but you're still paying 15, 18 cents a kilowatt hour, it's like sort of medium. I've seen people that added, $50 a month in the wintertime. I've seen people added $220 because they live in a horrible place with horrible electrical rates in very cold climates. So we've seen it all. So very difficult for me to answer without a bunch more information, but that's it. But definitely leave the 4.4. That's not what the draw is. Actually, let me clarify that. The amperage draw is from the heat. Heat is what costs. The pump's running, it's running a couple amps, it's nothing. It's the heat, make no mistake. So the bigger difference would be, so leave the 4 versus 4, but I keep my swim spa at 101 degrees in the wintertime, and it is, I told him I was doing a Facebook Live. Let me breathe. Okay, I'm good. I told him twice. So if you leave the pumps on, turn the heat down, not if you're gonna go in there every day, don't turn it down every day because then it won't heat back up in time for you to use it. Just as a set point, lower temperatures will cost less. That's what the heat draw is in the wintertime, super cold climates.
And it really isn't, the energy draw isn't from that 4 hours twice a day.
Right.
That's not gonna make a difference.
It's the heat.
And if you went from 4 to 5 and 4 to 3, it's not that much. It's the heat.
Right, for sure. Okay, got another?
No, but we are at
we're done?
Time, yeah.
I just got super hungry.
I'm pretty sure that we're good for normal time, 2 weeks, and I'm pretty sure that it's October 8th.
I need to shave. I was gonna grow a goatee. I was gonna. So we have a costume party coming up, and I might have needed an authentic mustache for it, so I started to grow it. I'm not sure. I might go a different way now. I'm not telling you what it is, but now I'm not sure I need it, so maybe it's time to shave. Okay.
All right. So we will see everybody in 2 weeks. If you are watching this later and you're going to put some...
Jimmy just said Chipotle just opened in Cheshire. Talk to her about Whole Foods, dude. She's going to lose her mind.
I can't
lose her mind. She's been driving to West Hartford twice, 3 times a week for...
Maybe not that much, but enough
10
that
years.
it's annoying. So,
yeah. Her car has ridiculous miles on it for the year because of Whole Foods.
Whole Foods, yeah. We'll see everybody in 2 weeks. Have a great night. We'll answer any other questions you have after.
Love you guys. See you in 2.
Have a good night.